Everybody, welcome to another episode of NC-17. I'm Josh, going solo yet again, as Lisa's out in the field doing her thing, which is always a good thing. First, I'd like to thank our sponsor, which is Spin City / Static Tape. They're in Muskegon, Michigan. They have all your physical media needs, DVD, Blu-ray, you name it, they got it. So, with us today, we have the award-winning Content Creator of the Year 2023, Miss Abby from Motor City Nerds. How are you doing today?
I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm not gonna lie to you, Josh. It's been a rough summer, but a good summer at the same time. But we're here now. We're recovering. We're gonna be good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh, well, speaking of the summer, and I'm not a stalker, but I did see your post. You went to the lake, you had some fun, family fun and stuff.
Yes, family fun is the key words here. I had a couple hiccups, a few personal hiccups in the road, but do you want to know what? I'm better than ever. Life's better than ever. We're good.
What doesn't kill you makes you strong.
Thank you. Thank you, because I didn't think I was going to make it for a minute.
Oh yeah, I
But
don't
that's a depressing talk for another time.
know. So let's get into it. Have you seen the remake of The Crow yet?
No. Did you?
Yes.
How? Be honest.
All right, I
No.
rate everything 1 to 10, 1 being worst, 10 being best, right?
Where are we at?
0.
No.
Yeah.
It was that bad. I want to hear it from you. Was it that bad? Because all
It
these other people, I'm like, are we old fogies? Was it that bad?
it was so bad, and you know what? I don't give away spoilers, but this is going to be a spoiler.
No, do it.
All right, so in the original, Brandon Lee died or got unalived, whatever you can
Oh
say
yeah.
now.
Yeah, right.
But he got 187. That ain't been deleted yet. So and he came back and he was a crow.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, he gets 187, comes back, but is not the crow, but has to get 187 again to become the crow. I'm like,
Okay. I have questions, and you can tell me. I'm not mad about spoilers. Is it in Detroit? Was that even mentioned? I know it sounds cliche and I know we're biased, but like it's such a pivotal vibe that I'm like the warehouses, the aesthetic, everything Devil's Night. But outside of Devil's Night, it's such a vibe that I'm like, how can you not have the city be a character? I
oh
know
yeah,
we do that a lot where we're like, the city's a character, but no, the city is a character in The Crow. And
oh yeah.
it is in the comic and it is in the movie. And so I'm like, oh my God. And you want to know what? I like that FK Twigs. So I'm like, and I like Bill Skarsgård, but I'm like, everybody was coming out saying it was trash. And then I was like, I'll go see it. But then I was like, I never did.
Skarsgård should stay as far away from that, and like he should denounce that movie and not even claim it, like at
Here's
all.
my nobody's, I know I say this a lot, but I don't have a PR team and I know better. And I know that I shouldn't hop online and say certain things. And they said this is a good idea. Like Bill Skarsgård is, I truly believe they cast him to go, he's our human shield.
Yeah, and that didn't even work.
And it's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. And okay, let me ask you this. Was like the mythological stuff handled any better? Like, because that's what they said they were leaning into.
Nope.
No.
Here's my thing.
Oh no.
The only thing that is relatable from the original to this is the name and the names of the characters. And I'm just talking about Eric Draven and his girlfriend. Everyone else is not
Oh,
even.
I love hearing this from you because I trust you. I feel like Shelly, even in the trailer, was too much of a character.
Yeah.
Like it's the love that's between and those flashbacks. No, I know we always say this, but those flashbacks in the original hit. Like we love each other. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. I feel the same way when I see you and your wife post about each other. Like you love each other. You love each other point blank, period. And that's it. That's all. There's nothing getting in between that. And if you can make that come across, you'll make us care. But I didn't even feel that. I was like, you're making her too, like, there too much. You need to make her more of a memory.
Oh yeah. I mean, all right, so the way they met up was garbage. The way they handled the 187s was garbage. The end credits music was garbage. Like this whole movie was garbage.
Well, that's my thing. I'm like, I don't even know how to put it, where the music was such an integral part of it that I'm like, you can't recreate that.
That's
You
true.
can't. You
That's
can't
true.
recreate that. And there's very few things where the soundtrack makes the movie better, like the literal soundtrack, not the score. The soundtrack makes the movie better, and the movie makes the soundtrack better. I would say Into the Spider-Verse is one of those.
Oh yeah.
The, the Crow is one of those. And honestly, this is gonna be a crazy one. I think like Resident Evil kind of is hitting there, like the second one a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But what did we this was just a mistake all around. It was a mistake all around. And honestly, I just don't think I wanted to see it get screwed over. I really, it's such a thing that I'm like, and especially for the 30-year anniversary,
Yeah.
what are we doing? And I know everybody says this and it makes me so mad when they're like, movies are dying. And I'm like, no, it's because we don't put money towards the things we care about. And people are just, but this is blatantly like a soulless cash grab. And I've
Yes.
said this before, this is attached to somebody's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
He died making this, and not just died making it, they died pushing for it to be made. And we're like, this has to be made. I care about this. And I was just saying this at my sister's house. If Brandon Lee would have lived, he'd be the star of Marvel.
Oh yeah.
He
Oh hell yeah.
he'd
Hands down.
easily be a Chris Hemsworth or a Chris Pratt or any, he'd be up there. And it's like, this guy wanted this movie to be made. And if people don't know that, outside of him going, I'm good at being this character, he wanted this movie to get out. And the fact that you're just like, let's just remake it and not make it good is not cool to me. And I don't really feel like that with a lot of things where I'm like, if you can do your own spin, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But this wasn't that.
No. This
This was
was a
somebody saw the 30-year anniversary and went, oh, remember the Crow? And then they went, we didn't realize every millennial and Gen X are going to come out and spit on it.
oh yeah.
That's going to
This
happen.
this wasn't even a Crow movie. This was a spinoff of John Wick with supernatural fills.
That part. That's a good way to put it. Because I was going to ask you next, how was the shock value?
None.
And you're a horror guy.
Yeah.
So like, you appreciate the crazy over the topness, but it like we keep saying, Eric Draven's nuts, but Eric Draven is somebody you could have ran into at the liquor store.
Exactly.
Eric Draven is like obviously Brandon Lee is a good looking guy, or he was a good looking guy, but it's like he was down to earth enough that it's like I could have ran into this guy at the gas station picking up smokes, and he was approachable, but also he wasn't a goon. He wasn't a goon. And that was the part that I think they dropped the ball on, even in the trailer, of making him this badass goon. And he never was that.
Yeah. See, they heavily relied on like the whole mob aspect of this. And I'm like, I thought going into it, I was like, okay, now first off, I'm gonna say I did not pay to see it. I have my ways, but it's not illegal, but I have my ways.
You
But
got
my
it.
thing is going into it, I knew I was not going to compare this to the original at all
Yes.
because I wanted to go in there with a fresh take.
We really tried it. I feel like me and you can, I'm going to pat us on the back for that, where we do try to go, even if it's something we love, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to go, is it, because that's why I'm saying, like, was there a redeemable quality about it? Was there something? And it's like, if there wasn't,
They put way too much into this. They put too much into certain characters. This is supposed to be right. This is supposed to right.
We care about Eric Draven loving his girlfriend.
Exactly. So the Crow never had like a supernatural person that he, that helped him do whatever he needed to do. The Crow just did what he needed to do. In this, the hell is this guy even talking about? You have to become the Crow to do. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, did they get way too mystical with explaining?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, did they get bogged down with going, well, then I was attached and then I came back and then this and that? Nobody cares. I died. I came back. I killed everybody.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all.
Even the narration
Not a narration.
sucked.
Not a narration.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, this is what I want to ask too. Was Sarah even involved?
there was a Sarah-esque character.
Because I didn't even really realize that till after we talked about the trailer, but I'm like, everything coming through her eyes is the whole point where she's attached to him and to Shelly and to everybody. And then we're like, oh, okay, these people lived. That's what it is that we felt that these people lived and they felt real. And no matter what, I remember my ex would be like, this is so corny. But then by the end, he's like, but I like it. And I'm like, exactly. I'm not going to lie. If I'm going to pick like a romance movie to put on, if it's not Titanic, I'm putting on The Crow because that's the vibe you get. You're like, and no matter what, whether it's a relationship or family, it's like, no, I died and came back and did this because I lived. I lived
Right.
and I had that love before for others. And we get that vibe. And I never felt it through the trailers. And I really did. I might go see it. I don't know. I'll probably wait for it to stream, but I'm like, that we're focusing too much on the kick their ass part that we're not getting the remember where that comes from part. And you can put people kissing all day on screen. It does not mean that we're gonna get the same vibe. It doesn't. And
Exactly.
I saw the director made some comments, but I'm like, this is you trying to save your ass. And I can respect that, but you're trying to save your ass. And none of us can. None of us care. And if Gen Z or whatever wants to say this is their thing, do you want to know what? Good for you, but go watch the original. I highly suggest being obsessed with the original. And I know an old head would probably say that, but it's just true. It's just true. Now, what else have you been watching? What else are we talking about tonight?
Alien Romulus.
I've been hearing good things. I haven't seen that yet either, Josh.
That's a good one. I'm gonna give it a strong 7.
Thank you, because you said something good about it. Other people I trusted good things about it. So I'm going to say thumbs up on Alien Romulus. And then people that are dumb, I'm going to just say it. Dumbasses. I'm on Facebook and shit are like, it's so bad. And I'm like, you want to know what? The Evil Dead, the same director did the one that just came out. We love Evil Dead. Evil Dead is number 1. We all live for Evil Dead. But that one that just, oh, here we go. Josh is good. There we see. We love Evil Dead. Ash is number 1. But that one that just came out that he directed, I had a good time watching that. And I'm like, you can tell this guy respects where the things he's doing sequels of came from. And I can appreciate that. And I could tell from the trailer, I'm like, you're making it claustrophobic, you're making it internal, and that's what is scary about Alien. I don't care what there's a whole allegory I could go down about Alien and the original that I love. And I'm like, I think it's kind of about women and them being attacked, but that's a whole other vibe. But I'm like, claustrophobicness, the being stuck and nowhere to go, face huggers, scary, scary, scary. And jump scares aren't for you, or maybe whatever isn't for you. But I feel like this guy got that vibe down. Same thing with Evil Dead. It might not be Evil Dead, but he knows I need somebody covered in blood, specifically a woman. And I need them stuck in a place they can't get out of. And I'm going to respect the original. So I'm going to give that director, even though I haven't seen it yet, I'm going to give the director props. I'm going to give him.
So this one, Alien Romulus, takes place between, in my opinion, probably the 2 best Alien movies, Alien and Aliens.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, don't mind about spoilers. I'll still enjoy something.
Yeah, it's I will say though, like, granted, CGI is what people use nowadays. If you use it properly and you make it look as close to a practical effect as possible, hands down, I'm going to love it. And that's what he did.
That's a huge compliment from you.
Yes.
That's a huge compliment because me and you are like, we need that practical feeling. Because even now I watch stuff like with my nephew, like Never Ending Story or whatever. I'm like, this is scary because it's real. Like, it's there. So if you can make me feel like something's there, I'm there for it. I'm there for it.
All right. I will say you missed Motor City Nightmares.
I know. And I'm very upset about that. I'll tell you what happened off camera.
Oh, yeah. But I did meet Mekhi Phifer.
Oh my God.
Cool
I
dude. Yeah, cool dude. But the highlight of, for me anyway, the highlight of Motor City Nightmares was meeting Morgan Ziva. She's one of the most humble, down to earth people I've ever met. That's ever been in a
love to
movie.
hear it.
And she was in a movie in she was actually in Hellvan, which I have, that was written, directed, and starred
Oh, of course
Jorge.
you do, Josh. Of
Oh
course you have it.
yeah. I actually have it on DVD and Blu-ray, two different copies, but that's neither here nor there. But she was in Hellvan. She was also in a movie called St. Patrick's Day: The Slough Awakens. That's on Tubi.
Okay.
So it's
Tubi, don't sleep on Tubi and Pluto. They have the jams for horror.
oh yeah, oh
If
yeah,
you're a
oh
horror
special
fan,
Tubi.
Tubi and Pluto are raking it in.
Oh yeah, and I actually was able to interview her not once but twice at Nightmares. Once was with Jorge De La Rosa for Hellvan, and then the second time was for St. Patrick's Day: The Slough Awakens. I
That's
would
all.
tell you, go watch that movie. You're not. It's got mythological stuff about fairies, like Irish fairies.
Oh,
It's
Faye, I'm with you.
oh yeah, it's got
I'm writing it down right now.
oh yeah, it's got
St.
zombies.
Patrick. Okay.
And it's a good movie, and I rated it an 8. So, but I'm giving it a 9. Like
Oh,
I it is so rare that I change my voting, my rating.
yes.
But after watching it a couple times, I was like, okay, first time was pure entertainment. Second time was to see what I missed. Third time was again pure entertainment. And I didn't get bored watching it over and over. So that right there gives it, you know,
That
yeah,
that part. Being rewatchability is huge. Or just like I'm sure you've been here when you're showing it to somebody else and you still want to sit through it and not tell them every little thing about it. And you're like,
exactly.
that's huge. That's a big deal to us movie people and rating it. That's a big deal to be like, oh, I can sit back. I remember I was like that with Green Room, where
Oh
I can
yeah,
actually sit back and go like, no, I'm gonna let them actually watch it, like even though I've watched this 4 times,
oh yeah,
and that's rare. And so no, I love it, and I feel like St. Patrick's Day isn't you. I feel like, especially in American stuff, because I'm super Irish, just Irish folklore isn't used enough because it's
yeah,
scary, creepy, and it's not nice. Like when people are like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, I'm not welcoming nothing into my house. Like
right.
Elf on a Shelf, that's not happening in my
Oh
house
yeah,
because I'm superstitious and crazy. That's what it is. But no, I feel like it's not utilized enough. And I'm so glad that Motor City Nightmares went well because I was out of, like I said, I'll tell you everything that went down
oh yeah.
off. But life is crazy. It is what it is. Things happen. But no, thank you for dealing with me, in other
Oh,
words.
you're good.
But
You're good.
I am good now. But I think I had a bit of a mental break. But I'm so glad it went well. Josh, you are one of the few people that I think deserve to get these interviews and stuff for sure. 100%.
I appreciate that.
Seriously, because like not only, like I said, I've told you this before, I've told the channel this before, there are very few people that can go toe to toe for me to be like, did you know this about this? And did you know that about that? And we actually just love it. We
Yeah.
just love it. We're not here to go like, well, you know. It's like we could do that all day, but we're not here to do that. We're here to go like, we appreciate the fact that you acted your ass off, and we appreciate the fact that you directed it, and we appreciate the fact that you even showed up to work, Sound Guy.
Oh
Do
yeah,
you want to get in? I feel like me and you would both be like, we'll interview the assistant. We don't care. Like we appreciate you just as much as we appreciate the top dog on anything.
that's true. That's true.
Because it
You
all
know,
matters.
oh yeah. I did see Furiosa, the Mad Max saga movie. All right, I'm gonna think.
I mean, you know me, Josh. Furiosa is top tier ladies that I'm like, let's go. Let's go. I really love her. Like, I want to do an Immortal Joe cosplay, and I know that's problematic. And I'm like, no, she's so. I rewatched Fury Road recently, and I'm like, man, what a great character. Just in general. And I've told you this about like Michonne and
Oh
where
yeah,
they're just cool. And that was fine, but I feel, and I mean, I guess with Mad Max and like Mel Gibson, there is that like funny element to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like they did lean a little bit into that where I'm like, this is kind of I don't know. I liked it. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she's great. I wanted a little bit more. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of started falling asleep.
So my rating for it, everyone's like, a lot of people I've talked to in my circle was like, oh, it gets a 10. That's because you're looking at the action. You're
Oh,
not
fine.
looking right. Action
Well,
scenes
I'm
are
not gonna
good.
take anything away from there. I would say, like, me personally, I being on a nice day, I'm gonna say 8. On a regular day, I'm gonna say probably a 7.5.
You're being a little bit nicer than I am because I give it a 5, and that's just average.
I thought you were gonna give it 6 at
No,
least.
nope.
Oh, okay, okay. No, and that's the thing is like these. Honestly, I think I'm doing that because it's such a grueling environment.
True.
That's probably it. But as a movie, and I take all the Abby shit out of it, I'd probably be right there with you. I might go 6.5 or 6. I'd probably still be above you, but I'd be honest, it ain't nothing to write home about.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Action,
did.
yes. And I got in a huge fight with somebody recently when I was rewatching Mad Max. I was like, no, this is real. And they're into like idiots who talk online. So like, none of this is real. This is CGI. I'm like, no, they were literally out in the desert
Yeah.
swinging on poles and stuff. Like this don't happen anymore. Like Ridley Scott does this. Very few people go out and say we're going to do this, and they
Oh
did.
yeah.
And you got to factor that in here. And so I know it's like a grueling environment. I know it's really hard to shoot in. Same thing with Dune. I like Dune. The nerd community is going to come for me. But part of me, and I think it was great. I think it was fine, but it might not just be my thing. I don't really care about space as much as other people.
Agreed.
But part of that factoring in for me is like you guys shot in the middle of the desert, and that's hard. But the other part of me is like, it's
Yeah.
it's fine. Like I get it. It's fine.
Oh, for Dune and Dune 2, they both get zeros from me.
Gosh, we can't say that.
And
You can't say that out loud.
in my
You can say it out
household,
loud.
oh yeah.
Well,
In
like,
my
let's be real. You wanted to be Tolkien.
yeah. But see, here's my thing. So Lauren loves those movies.
Oh God, Lauren, don't hate me. I
Oh
love your
no.
cooking. I need to come over again. I'm so sorry that my life is in shambles. It's better now, but
Oh no,
Lauren,
you're good. Hey, you're more than welcome anytime.
well, my friend's gonna kill me if he sees this, and he'll be like, "You talk bad about Dune,
Well,
not my
see,
Dune."
me and Lauren got into a legit argument about this movie. She's like, "Oh, I give this movie a 9." I was like, "It's a 0." She's like, "Don't talk to me." I was like, "Okay."
It's so pushy. It's. I think that's what it is. It's like it's so pushy, and I guess other people could say that about the things I like, but I'm like, I get it, Dune. I get it.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel with Dune, where I'm like, I understand. And I shouldn't say that with the nerd community, but I'm like, oh my God. And like, it's horrible. I
Uh,
shouldn't say that.
I did
And you
see.
know what? Skarsgård did great. Skarsgård did great there. His PR team didn't screw up being in Dune.
That's true. I'll give you credit on
But
that one.
and you want to know what? Oh, do you want to know what I watched recently? It's not horror or anything. Wonka. That little Timothy Chalamet is a
Yeah,
little charming bastard.
I haven't seen it yet.
Do you want to know what? I watched the original Willy Wonka. And then I said, Mom, do you want to? She's not a big musical person, but I'm like, I think you're forgetting that the original is a musical. Oh, and I watched that Gene Wilder documentary. Did you check that out on Netflix? It's good if you
Not yet.
haven't. It's a fun little watch. And
Yeah.
it's just nice. And it's just a nice uplifting thing. So I was like, let's watch this Wonka. Are the songs the greatest? No. Is it nice? Yeah. Is that little Timothy Chalamet charming? Yes. And do you know what? I like him more now because I'm like, I think he really cared. Let's put it this way. He really cared about Gene Wilder's performance. He did little tweaks from it. He really cared. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind that you're getting Dune and I feel like I'm becoming an old person saying these things where I'm like, these youngins. But I'm like, no, I liked you in Dune and I liked you in that. And you really, if you care about film the way I do, I'm here with you, you little twerp. I think you're I think you're
The
5'1" and like 100 pounds, but I'm here for you.
when I think of Wonka, and you gotta forgive me because I don't have the best singing voice, but the only thing I remember from my childhood watching Willy Wonka was "Come with me
He
and
kills
you
it.
be."
He
Oh yeah,
kills it. I'm not gonna lie, it comes in at the end and I cried like a baby.
okay.
It
So
does. It comes and it's not bad. Some of it is you see where the factory's groundwork it's laid. And it wasn't terrible. They didn't rely on too much from the original, but it
yeah.
was fine. It was totally fine. I'm trying to think of other, but I liked that. I'm trying to think of other things I've watched recently. Did you watch House of the Dragon?
I haven't watched it yet because Lauren wants me to
Oh,
watch it with her.
let me tell you, you need to go to sleep. House of the Dragon, because you know me. And honestly, Josh, I've been trying. Like I said, life has been bad, but I tried. I tried to keep up with that. And then I was like, what are you doing? I don't, me, HBO, Warner Brothers, Disney, anybody, if you need people, me and Josh are available. We can gladly get paid a normal amount, sit in the corner and raise our hands and go, people hate that.
Yeah.
Hate it. They're going to hate it and they're going to be bored. They're going to
Oh
be
yeah.
bored.
Yeah. I know that and Rings of Power season 2, Lauren wants me to wait to watch.
Rings of Power's killing it. Me and mom cranked out 3 episodes last night.
Oh
Are you a
yeah.
Lord of the Rings freak though?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just okay.
No, I
Because
am. I am.
obviously I'm a Game of Thrones freak. You know this, but like, and you are too. But Josh has way more shit than I do, everybody. Let's just be honest. There we go. See, Josh has cooler stuff, better stuff, awesome stuff, and a whole life of it. I just have this corner. But Lord of the Rings, I mean, Lord of the Rings changed everything. And the hate this is getting, it blows my mind because I'm like, did you watch season one?
Yes.
Did you like it? Like, just, or there were things that bugged me as a Tolkien fan where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to yell about Morgoth and I want to yell about Silmarils and I want to yell about that. But as a show, I had fun, and that's all I want sometimes. And season two, to me, some people are hating on it, but I'm like, I'm having a good time. And that's sometimes that supersedes it. But I'm like, nothing's ever gonna touch Peter Jackson.
No.
Nothing's ever magic. Like that's the thing when and probably you too, when I tell people like movies are magic, like TV is magic. These things
Oh
should
yeah.
make you feel like you're getting away from this shitty world and going to another one. And that changed my life as a kid. So I'm the biggest Peter Jackson, Tolkien fan there is out there.
Oh yeah.
And if I can have fun going back to Middle Earth, and if it brings new people to Middle Earth, I can't be mad at it. I really
Yeah.
can't. I'm like, if my mom can understand where the rings of power came from in a basic way, you're doing something right. Like, my sister never watched Lord of the Rings ever. And she's like, are you watching Rings of Power? And I'm like, you're watching Rings of Power? Like, okay. Like, if it's making people like that change their mind, I'm happy because all Tolkien wanted was stand together.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about, I never thought I'd die side by side with an elf. What about side by side with a friend?
Oh
Like,
yeah. You know,
stick with your fellowship, stick with the crew, man. Like, be good. That's all that matters. And I'm like, if it brings more people to Middle Earth, that's all I care about.
I agree. So the funny thing about it is with the Lord of the Ring movies, you can go back and watch them so many different times and actually see things you've missed.
Yes,
Yeah.
every time. And I'm one of those people that I'm like, and we've talked about this before back when, and recently, I don't know if are you on, I don't know if you're on TikTok or not, but I put it up on TikTok. It was, oh, we got 10 minutes, everybody, but we'll probably go again if Josh wants to. But,
Oh
um,
yeah.
I watched Red Dragon and I put
Oh
the
yeah.
DVD in because it was like, you got to pay for some crap. So I put the DVD in and I miss so much the menus, these extensive menus. Because I remember being a kid and being like, okay, well, I watched the movie. Now I'm going to watch 6 hours of bonus feature. And I was like that with Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, no,
Oh
I
yeah.
want and so it's like, I know the behind the scenes stuff. I know that. But every time I watch Lord of the Rings, you're absolutely right. I still see something that I'm like, wow, I didn't notice a character said that before. I didn't notice they looked this way before. I didn't notice this. And it really is the epitome of movie making, in my opinion, is that trilogy. Even if you don't love fantasy and you just love film, that's one of those things where you're like, that's how you do it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
how you do it. And I do have a problem with Rings of Power. Like, this is my nerd brain. Leaving New Zealand, not doing the on site stuff. Like, that does
Yeah.
bother me.
Oh yeah.
But somebody here cares. At least
Yeah.
about the dwarves. I love the dwarves. I don't care what nobody says. Make her black, make her white, make her purple. I don't give a shit. I love them. Dwarf markets, dwarf towns, dwarf villages. I love that shit, and I'm loving that. So there's somebody there that cares. Unlike House of the Dragon, I'm telling you, you're gonna watch House of the Dragon season 2 and go, what? Just
Yeah.
stick dragons in our face. Then we love dragons. Where are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Nowhere to be
Yeah.
found.
Oh yeah. So what's funny is a couple years ago when I met Elijah Wood at Motor City Comic Con, I was asking him, I was like, so, filming these movies back to back, like I know it had to be a daunting task to be able to do everything. And he was like that there was days to where he couldn't, like, he'd walk on like set and everything. And then once the filming was done, he couldn't walk off set because his
I,
feet.
I believe it. I
And
believe it.
but he said Peter Jackson gave every single person who was in that movie the entire trilogy in one movie.
That's what I mean. I'm like, here's the thing is I remember, and I always tell people this, I get it. Awards are bullshit. I get that. But the Oscars, like, I didn't give a shit about the Oscars
Yeah.
until Lord of the Rings. And then I was like, no, I want to see them sweep. And they did. And the
Oh
other
yeah.
part of that that's awesome is they hated Harvey Weinstein. So, like, that was his arena, was winning. They always say that more people have thanked Harvey Weinstein than they've thanked God at the Oscars. And there's a whole thing into that, and we can get into that, but whatever. But the fact that they were like, no, screw you, you can't be a part of this, and then swept it was monumental and huge. But the
Oh
fact
yeah.
that you can just tell they cared. Like, it wasn't about the awards, it wasn't about nothing, but they really broke a glass ceiling there of not only like fantasy, of just nerd culture in general, of going like, we matter. We
Oh yeah.
matter. And that's huge. And I just think Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro are a couple of the people where we're like, you're our guy.
Oh
You're
yeah.
our guy in Hollywood. Like, you're our guy of like horror, practical. These things matter to people, and they
Oh
showed
yeah.
it. I think that will always be telling to the end of time, to the end of the Oscars, to the end of people not caring, of going like, but remember Return of the King?
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember that nerds matter and the stuff they care about mattered?
Oh yeah. Well, all right. I have to say this. Everyone's like the main hero of that movie was Aragon or Legolas or Gimli. It was Sam. Because if it wasn't for
Yes.
Sam carrying Frodo up that mountain, that ring would have never been destroyed. Plain and simple.
I remember being mad, like my grill lighter. I remember being mad in the theater, like as a kid. I was born in 92. That came out in 03. I'm 11 years old. And I'm like, beat his ass, Sam. Beat the shit out of this guy for screwing you over. Like, screw him. And the
Oh
fact
yeah.
that he doesn't is the thing. Like I said, you stick with your friends. It doesn't matter if they're
Right.
going through shit. And I don't want to cry because, like I said, everything that I dealt with over the past couple months of like, you don't know the burden on your friend right now. Honestly, Josh, you're my Sam. You're my Sam going like, I got you. I got you. Even though you disappeared and gave up, I got you. And that means something and that matters. And I think more people, even if you don't love fantasy, that's why this series is so loved. Because
Yeah.
that's why there's the hate around Rings of Power. That's why there's stuff. And that's why I try not to get mad at the fandom because I'm like, it's so close to people's hearts. It really is. It's like, it's friendship.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not, it's not lovers. It's not anything like that. It's my friend's going through some shit and I got him and I'm going to be there for him. And Sam is if there was no Sam, there would be nothing. There'd be
Exactly.
literally nothing.
That's
And
right.
he is the hero. And
Oh
I
yeah.
do think people forget that. I really do. Like, Aragorn's cool. I love Aragorn as much as the next person. I love Gimli. I love them all. I love Gandalf. But even Gandalf knows the tough one here isn't Aragorn. It's the hobbits.
Oh
It's
yeah.
the ones who want to make bread and grow their gardens at the end of the day and have a good memory with the people they loved. Like we were saying with the crow. to tie it all in together. Life.
Yeah.
It's the ones you remember going to get a beer with. That's what matters at the end of the day, not this other
Yeah.
shit. Like going on a huge adventure is cool. Being acknowledged by eagles is cool. But even Frodo says that at the end, he's like, I don't remember the taste of water, Sam. And then he's like, remember that the strawberries are coming in. It kind of
Right.
gives me Sailor Moon vibes where she's like, I like to go to the store and see a party dress in the window. Like, remember those little things in life because that's what matters. And honestly, Josh, that's why I love your channel. That's why I love you. That's why I love your family. That's why I love your wife. Like, I see you guys post stuff and I'm like, that's the shit that matters. For real, like that's the shit that matters. Like I love her, she loves me, and we love our shit, and we have a good, happy life. And that's what matters at the end of the day. We don't get to take money with us. We don't get to take rings of power with us.
That's true.
We get to go. I hope my loved ones are there with me. I hope they're holding my hand while I die. Like,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's huge. Like, not to get sappy, but it is like
Yeah.
that's what matters. Is and I always say this about my channel. I know it sounds cheesy and lame, but I go, I hope that when I'm dead and gone, my nephews, my friends, their kids can go, I'm glad I knew this person.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this person was in my life. Like
Oh yeah.
that's that's all that matters. And yeah, like, but yeah, no, not to be lame or anything, but we'll talk more in a minute, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
I do. I think honestly, I think Lord of the Rings is important, not just because Tolkien was a genius, but because of those messages. Like
Oh yeah.
he told Nazis to buzz off. Like
Yeah.
Tolkien was a cool. Honestly, Tolkien would probably talk to us. Let's be honest.
He
He'd
probably
be like,
would.
I'm these quirky motherfuckers over here.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, and we got like 2.5 minutes. So I always say this. I'll always give other people shout outs. I'll always show the respect because at the end of the day, we are all one community, regardless of what we do.
Yes.
Now, I'm not known for being sappy and all, like forthright with my feelings and stuff like that. But I'm building, me and Lisa are building. I'm everyone's like, "Oh, you're building an empire." We're building a fellowship.
Exactly.
So and the
And
thing
everybody
is,
fits.
that's right. I mean, we don't care if you're sports, we don't care if you're horror, we don't care if you're whatever you are. The thing
I feel like I
is
pulled a bit of a Boromir.
right. But the thing is at the end of the day, we accept everybody because we are not the ones. Here we go. Plain and simple. We got a minute and a half left. We are the land of misfit toys.
Yeah. I was gonna say you guys are the Shire.
You
You
know,
guys are the place that everybody can come home to, and that matters.
so and that's why when we entered this, that's why when we asked you if you wanted to join us, like
We're gonna
you're
do that. Still want to.
oh yeah. My thing is everyone is welcome here. But if you overstay your welcome, I will let you know.
Right, right. No, and that's what I mean. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I'll tell you more. We have less than a minute, but no. And Josh has always done this for the community. You're one of the few people because other people have been like, "Fuck Abby," and I'm like, "It's my life is in shambles." But I'm like, you guys are that place. You guys are the safe haven. You guys are the Grey Havens. You guys are Valinor. You're the place that we can feel safe at.
All right. Well, I will say this, and then we'll end this one, and we definitely will start another one. I will say this: anybody out there who says "fuck Abby," fuck you.
Oh, thank you, Josh. I appreciate that because the internet's shitty
Yes,
and
yes,
life's hard.
yes. But we'll end it right here, and we'll be back in about 5-10 minutes.
Perfect.
All right, later.